What's up? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good middle of the night. Whenever you're watching this, I am happy to have you here. So I am here back again, second week in a row. I didn't know I was gonna tune in 2 weeks in a row, but I enjoyed my last week's photo reviews so much, and it seemed like you guys did as well. And so I want to make it a good habit. And back here for my second official photo review. And how's everyone doing? If you're here in the chat live, Ryan, welcome. Give me a chat. Let me know if you're listening live, and also where you are tuning in from. And also let me know if the audio and everything sounds good. Bob, welcome. Good to see some familiar faces. It's Tuesday, right? Tuesday morning here in California. Thankfully, these fires that have been happening have died down a little bit. It's pretty devastating though. And I got the window open. I was just thinking about the fires because for a couple weeks we've been kind of careful about leaving our windows open. But a couple nights ago, my dog got sprayed by a skunk, and we have been dealing with that. So hence the window open, the blanket shirt on. It's a little chilly here. I can't complain about the chill though here compared to a lot of places. And I got my warm coffee. Actually, I lied. This is tea because I already had my coffee like an hour ago, and I was like, I don't need a second cup of coffee. I'm gonna have to time that a little bit better. But today, I'm just going to be going over the Vibrant Colors photo reviews, photo challenge submissions. Will and Sam are busy. They both want to get in here with me live for some photo reviews and live streams, Q&A, and all that kind of stuff. But they are on actual photo shoots, video shoots, doing some real work. So they're a bit busy. But while I just wait, I'll take one more minute. Marcel, welcome. Take one more minute just to share a couple updates. Let's see. Let's get over to here. Okay, so you're seeing Photography and Friends Plus. Okay, a lot of big changes the past week. I've been tweaking a lot of little things. If you've been here for a while, then you might have noticed a few things. So some new spaces that I've kind of reorganized. I have changed the say hello and random chat space to just a say hello space so that we have now a dedicated space for people to post questions and thoughts or photos, just about anything random. It's a space where I feel like sometimes people are posting photos that don't necessarily need a critique. They might not work in the gallery, or just a thought or a comment too. So that's a new space for you. I've also updated a couple of the looks of the spaces. I realized that a lot of people weren't adding headers, which is, I know, a little confusing to do. And I'm hoping that the platform I use, Circle, can update that. But if I go over to the newly laid out weekly challenges space, you'll see how I have it now laid out. Instead of the feed, I have it like this, which I feel like is a little bit better and cleaner. It's easier for people to just jump into a specific challenge that they want to. But these header images are what I add to the post to make it look nice and pretty, and that just wasn't happening in the photo critiques and the gallery space. So both of these are now feed-like spaces. I think it's a little easier to see the latest posts and interact with them. I've also updated the Gear Talk page to be more of a forum, which I think is also a little bit better, because I think like if you have a clear headline, it's easier to see like something that you might be interested in. And I believe I did the same for the business stuff. So make sure that you are having a clear title for your post, because that will help with this. I've also added a videos space. That was for the last recap video, because I didn't do a live stream event. I might stop doing that and just put these live streams in the live sessions and replays space, which we had previously. But we'll see. If I have a lot more videos coming out, I might keep that space. I still have the courses, which links to the courses out on Udemy and Video School. However, I am toying with the idea of adding all the courses here onto Plus and potentially including them as with your supporters subscription if you are a supporter. So supporters, it's $5 a month. It helps pay for the platform, and you get access to this private supporters space. But it costs a little extra money for me to host the courses here, and I'm just sharing my thoughts because I don't know. I guess I have extra time here. Not that you care, but now we have our courses on Udemy. We have them on Video School, and the idea of adding them here to me feels like, oh God, another space to put our courses. Seems like it's all over the place. Although, as I build out the Plus community, to me, it's almost like, wow, it would be really cool if everything was accessible here and easy to access here. Anyways, if you have any thoughts about this stuff, I think I have a post. Did I move it to the general chat? I'll post it to the general chat. I'll move it to the general chat, or just send me a message, post it here. But although probably not here is the best place for me to get back to it or see it later on. But if you have thoughts right now, share them on what we can do to improve the platform. So anyways, enough of that. I do have one really cool thing that I want to share later, but I want to get into the weekly challenges. So let's get into our vibrant colors, and welcome Shelby. Thank you for being here. I'm not sure if you've noticed, the community is very, very vibrant, like our vibrant colors challenge. Excuse me. It has been, we've been getting a lot of new friends in the past couple weeks, and just really, really engaging and active. And that is making me very excited to be a part of this community again, as I have been. All right. So sit back, enjoy, and let's hear my random thoughts about your photos that you guys posted. All right. So this was vibrant colors. I think you could get pretty creative with that. And first things first, let me just move this around a little bit. I'm just moving some windows on my space. How's everyone doing today? Let me know in the chat. What's up? Just what are you guys up to? Anything exciting? Not necessarily photography wise, but work wise, new gear, new trips you're going on, new coffee shop that you tried, you know, new TV show that you're watching. Let me know in the chat what's exciting for you. All right, Charles, first one, vibrant colors, Canon 400D kit, 18 to 55 millimeter lens, close up of this little post office slot. Cool photo. It's a really interesting aspect ratio. It's like very extremely tall. I kind of wish it was a little bit wider. It's definitely a vibrant color. I think the exposure is a little bit bright, maybe, unless it's just the quality seeing it on my screen. I feel like if we dropped that exposure over on the left-hand side of this screen, of this photo, I would see more of these details. But cool color. I feel like, to me, the biggest issue is the crop, or the aspect. It's kind of that tall, narrow. I wish it was a little bit wider and I could actually see a little bit more of this. Very welcome. Good morning. Hello. Good evening, where you are. All right, Abhishek. Love seeing all these people who are posting their photo, who are sharing their photos like every week in the challenges. And you know, if I had more time, I'd figure out a way to like get to make seeing these photos better and more visible. Although you can follow along by going into the challenge space yourself and viewing them. Good morning, Melissa. Thanks for being here. Great photo. Rule of thirds, the only things I would change are this horizon line is a little tilted, so I'd straighten that out. And the sky, this happens a lot, is if you're using, like in Lightroom, the dehaze filter, I think a lot of people kind of push it a little bit too far and start to make it starts to look a little unrealistic, unnatural. And that's what's going on here. So I would back that off a little bit, or to compensate for that, you could just sort of bring up the shadows or drop the exposure, or just drop the saturation a little bit in the sky, because it's a little bit, I would say, oversaturated for my taste. But lovely, lovely photo. I would love to see what it looks like though with those changes, because I think it would be even better. Maybe if it was just panned a little bit to the right, just a little bit, because these boats are getting cut off, the shore is getting cut off. It kind of would, I feel like, look a little bit more balanced if it was panned a little bit to the right and you saw the shoreline kind of receding into the background. But otherwise, really cool photo. That looks like I wonder, Philippines. I was going to say, it looks like the Philippines. Tagaytay. Yeah. Okay. Tagaytay. I've actually been to Tagaytay. Natalie with this beautiful photo of this flower. Cool photo. I actually don't mind these lines that are kind of diagonal. Like some people might have wanted to like straighten it out. I think the only thing is I would have cropped it in to center the flower perfectly. But otherwise, like, really cool photo. Great vibrant colors. I'm wondering if you pulled up the saturation of the greens as well as the purples. And if you did, I think it works. The greens are, all these greens are a little bit similar, and maybe that's how they were naturally, but you could have toned down the saturation. If you didn't bring up the saturation, you could have toned them down. Or if you did, maybe bring it down a little bit just on the greens so that that flower pops out even more. But in terms of following the prompt, vibrant colors, really good job. Brian, this is one of my favorite photos that I saw come in for this challenge. Just great diagonal lines, great colors. And yeah, no real critiques. I just love the balance of it and the choice of shooting it at that angle. Joanne, welcome. Just see your comment. Excited to see your photos come in at a later time when you do. And Rubrek, welcome. All right, let's see. Next photo, John Miola. This is a cool photo. Very vibrant. Part of me wishes I could see her face, like the same photo, but from in front of her would have been a little bit more interesting to me. Although it's kind of nice because you could see her tattoos, you see her the angle of her like fixing one of these beads that are coming down from her umbrella. Maybe back out the crop a little bit. Not sure if it's cropped or if this is just the angle, but just being able to see both sides of this umbrella. I feel like this is something that, and this is just a personal preference, but I think it's similar. Sam and Will have said this before. When there's things that are like just on the edge, it's like either crop in tighter so it doesn't feel like you're wanting to see the edges of the object, or widen out so that you see the full object. And I feel like this is one of those examples where I think you could have cropped in a little bit, done a standard sort of portrait framing, and cropped in just to her, and it would have this like full abstract sort of vibe with the framing of her, or backed out just a little bit to see the full umbrella. But as always, that's just my opinion. Really great shot. I'm trying to be, as I always do, I try to be extra critical because I know it's nice to hear that your photo's great. All your photos are great, but I think it's more helpful to actually hear some tough feedback, and being picky is the way I do that. So I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But yeah, thank you for your comments in the chat too. People see these comments, and thank you to everyone who's chatted in the actual thread of the weekly challenge too. This was a very engaging. We had over 200 comments on this challenge, and that's awesome. Maybe the most popular challenge we've ever had. This is a cool photo. I think the biggest issue to me is that it's out of focus, the calendar. So I think that what would have fixed that was a deeper aperture or deeper depth of the field. So closed down aperture, so a higher f-stop, because you did get sharp focus on your beautiful cat here with those vibrant eyes, which is awesome. They kind of match the color of this calendar. But yeah, the calendar being out of focus is a little bit of a bummer for me anyways. Marley this vibrant color. This was your son, your favorite redhead. Lovely, vibrant colors. A little bit tight crop on the head, top of the head. Again, like backing out just a little bit might have helped, I think, with the framing or with the crop of this. But lovely depth of field, lovely focus on his face. All the features of his face are very, very sharp. So that's great. Hi, Maria. Welcome. I'm going to put, I want to try out some of these features. I did this last time for the first time using the live stream feature on the Plus community. I think I can do a poll. How can I do a poll? I was going to do a poll. Oh, here, in here. I have a poll for you guys. Linked to maybe not. All right, I'll figure it out later sometime. I was going to ask, how many cups of coffee do you guys drink a day? Oh, that wasn't what I was supposed to do. All right, leave me a chat. If you have questions, I will enable the Q&A feature. And now you should see a Q&A box somewhere with the chat box, potentially. And you can leave actual official questions there. Joan, 0. Maria, none. What do you do? Do you drink tea? All right, next photo. Marcel, about 3. I'm at about 2. Cesar Sanchez. Wow, a lot of people not drinking coffee. That's great. More power to you. Very with 5. Well, Very, you are out in the middle of the night taking photos, so. All right, this is a cool photo. I mean, perfect subject for this vibrant colors photo. Yeah, really good. I guess I'm wondering, it could have been framed if you, the photographer, were standing a little bit to the right, so that more of this was framed in the sky. See how this building sort of is blocking the background? I almost kind of wish it was popping out more in the sky. But I don't know. Good, you get to see the sign here, so I think it's cool. I think the only note I have again is that if you did a dehaze for the sky or for the whole photo, sometimes that it just makes the clouds and things look a little unnatural. So maybe backing that a little bit, but really, really great photo. Love seeing the chats. Rubric says the colors are so impressive. Maria drinks hot chocolate. And Shelby also likes that photo. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. All right, Suzanne. Sony RX100 Concert F2A 180th. Nice shot. Pretty good shot and in a dark concert with an F2.8. You got pretty good focus here. And yeah, really cool photo. The lighting, sometimes in concerts, it's really fun to take photos because they set up their stage lights to look really good and to highlight the singer or the musicians in the right spots with backlighting, face lighting. So it's a great place to practice your night photography or your low light photography. And this is a very cool photo. There's a little bit of like blur or noise or something coming in. Maybe it's just the quality of the export. There's like this digitization in there that That might just be the export quality, but the colors are really nice. Love it. Thank you, Suzanne, for posting that. Jose Torres, Canon R5. Let us know what camera you have in the chat right now. What camera are you using? We'll see which brand is most popular with those of us live right now. Beautiful parrot. Maybe could have cropped in a little bit. I feel like just a little bit too much headspace for me, and then we could get really in close on the details of this parrot. But great example of vibrant colors. Probably could have boosted the exposure just a tad on the subject. In Lightroom, super easy. Do like a subject selection. Or just like a little radial mask over our subject and boost that exposure just a little bit, and even boost the saturation a tiny bit. But great example of a vibrant colors subject. We've got the Ricoh and the Fujifilm from Marcel, Canon, Nikon. All right, we'll let those come in. Steve Carr, this is cool. This mural looks like at a beach somewhere. That's a really cool picture. The only thing that would have been better is if you could have got the clouds to perfectly match the style of these clouds on the left side. Wait for that day and then take this photo again. Nah, this is really cool. This is perfect. I love the crop, super wide. Very, very cool photo. No critiques. Steve, thanks for posting that. That's awesome. Ooh, I really like this one. Michael, right here. Nice photo. Lovely colors. Maybe the crop is a little tight. The framing a little tight on the right-hand side. I want to see like this street a little bit more on this tower, just a little bit more. I think I could have lost this one pillar on the left and then pan to the right just a tiny bit to get a little bit more info. This is also one of those ones where the sky, I feel like it was probably like a white sky in your photo, but you did a sky selection or something to try to bring out the colors, and you brought the exposure down or maybe boosted the saturation. And I feel like it's a little bit too far. Also, the selection's just a little bit, you can tell that there was like this mask that was created with this feathering around the building. And so just fixing up the sky, I think, is a little bit what I would do. And just boost this exposure a little bit, even if it gets back to like being a little bit whiter. You can see the sky through this bell tower. That's probably what the sky looks like. And I know it's like easy to try to want to make the sky super blue and vibrant, which for this challenge is great because it sort of balances out and contrasts with the warm yellow and red in the photo. But at least as a photographer, I can automatically see that that's what's going on, and it kind of distracts me. But otherwise, great location. I would love to see this photo with a couple of those little tweaks, though, to the edit. All right, Marcel Paul. Feel free to share your Instagrams in your posts. I don't want posts in the community that are just, hey, follow me, but definitely make sure that you have your Instagram on your profile or in your, I'm not even sure if that's an option, but when you're posting these, feel free to share. I mean, honestly, Instagram, I've been posting a little bit more lately, but still wishing there was a better social platform for creating a portfolio. Now, I love Photography and Friends Plus. I love that this is a better place to be a student of photography and a community of photography friends than a place like Facebook or Instagram. But it's still not the best place to create a portfolio that you can share with the world. Anyways, I'm on a tangent. Let me look at this photo and then we'll see where our camera tally is at. This is cool. Marcel, you're not the one who posted the other toy car, are you, last week? I don't remember. But great setup, great little background, just really cool photo. Love it. That blue, the yellow pops so well off of that blue. So really good job. All right, we've got the OM-EM1. We've got Fuji. We got Canon, another Canon 90D from Bob. Maria's renting the Fujifilm X-T30. Nice. Joan says little rotation to fix the front. I don't know if that was for the car photo or the one before. But anyways, it also looks like this was just cropped because your name is right on the edge. Anyways. All right, let's get to our next photo. Here we got Nancy Fowler. Hats in the Caribbean. Sony 6700. Oh, that's a cool photo. Man, love the fast shutter on this one. What was your shutter speed? 1/60th. If it was faster, these waves in the background would have been a little bit sharper, which I like. Which it's like I either want the wave perfectly sharp or have a little bit of motion blur, long exposure, but still really cool. You see the wave, perfect timing, splashing around this kid, and cool colors. Yeah, really cool photo. If I'm being picky, could have like crouched down with the camera just a little bit, but honestly, really cool photo. And if you're just tuning in live, I teased that I did a tiny tease that I have a little bit of an announcement coming up, but that will come up later on. But something I'm really excited about, and I know I say that sometimes about being excited about stuff, and then it ends up just being like another course, which I love doing. I love putting out more courses or course updates, but this one's bigger, and I'm more excited about it. So stay tuned for that. Mirella. Wooden flowers, and I'm just doing a time check myself because I have about 20 minutes left. This is cool. I don't know if I like the angle at which this was shot. I feel like I want it more at an angle or less. Like these tiles down below, and then the pool up at the top, those lines feel a little crooked to me. So I would either like try to straighten it out. And I don't think, I mean, you could try to do that in post, but you would probably end up cropping too much. So while taking the photo, do that, or just crop it or crank the tilt even more. These flowers would end up more in the corner. Maybe you could even do it at an angle where you're cutting off the top of the pool, this line right here. So it's just in the, you just have like the pool water in the top half of the frame. I don't know if anyone else agrees with that or not. And yeah, like Ryan said, zooming out just a little bit so you see those lines and you see more of the framing. Even seeing, I could see that there's this shadow, the angle of the sun, the shadow from these flowers, kind of it would have been cool on these tiles. So maybe it's one where it's a portrait framing, but great subject and really cool background. I love the textures, the lighting, very, very cool. All right, let's go down. Tali. This is what's shot with the iPhone 13 mini. That's the phone I have. Yes, I don't like stay up to date with like latest phone gear, even camera gear. I'm still on the Fuji X-T4, which is a beautiful, wonderful camera. Although I know Very was posting in the community about upgrading to the X-T5, and sounds like that's a really cool camera too. All right, this photo. Lovely colors. Personal preference would be either to be more at an angle or straight on. I think that's the theme of my day is crank that angle so the angle doesn't look awkward, or straighten it out so it's just more balanced. But you got these wires. I would probably try to remove those if you wanted to spend more time on this. That would be one thing I would do. Photoshop has a really easy wire removal option now. I don't know if it's been added to Lightroom, but But yeah, probably straighten this one out and just take a photo of these 3 doors. 1, 2, 3 would be cool. I'm being picky today, guys. And I'm going to be picky about this one, Todd, because this is an amazing photo. I love it. Wonderfully symmetrical. I wish there was a little bit more room on the bottoms that balanced the top. I saw this photo and I was like, man, this is a really good photo. I love it's telling the story of this cool day. They picked this amazing location to do this hot air balloon event, and on this river or lake or whatever it is. So cool with this reflection. I just wish that I could have a little bit of space on the bottom to match the top, but otherwise, wonderful. And honestly, I don't know if it's just on my screen, but I think you could have just boosted the overall saturation just a little bit. It's like very vibrant, but you could have probably done it just a touch more, and I think it would have been fine. But lovely photo, one of my favorites that I saw from this challenge. And that was shot with the Canon 1100D. That is the T3. Is that the T3i? That is, and the thing with this is a perfect example. I'm looking this up. No, it's just the T3. This is a camera, 2014 camera, and it has 12 megapixels. So folks, you can take great photos with any camera out there. This is a perfect example of that. You don't need the latest, most expensive camera to take great photos. Anas Ahmed, this is a cool photo. This is a photo I took by covering half of the flash to make this look. It's kind of cool. I would have worked on this blurring out of the license plate a little bit more. Something about it just looks like this square blurred out thing, and maybe having a more subtle feathering of the blur would have helped. It looks like a little bit out of focus, the back of this. And I think what would I do here? Maybe if I were to do it myself or redo it is I think the photo should just be this whole half of the car with a little bit of framing outside, or maybe just putting yourself to the left a little bit more so it's more straight on or something. There's something about the angle that is bugging me from where you took the photo. Again, it's one of those ones where it's either crop in or back out even more so you can see the whole car. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment on there and let me know what you would do. Okay, Madison. Took this photo one night, play settings. Husband brought home these beautiful flowers. Beautiful, cute. Let me, you don't have the settings on here. Love the idea, like Marcel commented. It could just be the upload or the export quality, but there's a lot of noise and grain. I don't know if that's from a super high ISO or from a export issue, but it looks very soft. The quality is pretty low. So play around with that, but also maybe just crop in just a little bit. Get rid of this pedal down below. That's a little distracting, but really cool idea. Love it. Lovely, vibrant colors. Now I'm wondering how many photos have been posted, man. I didn't actually scroll down to all the photos that were shared. Huckleberry Hound, Funko Soda. This was posted by Brenna. Wow, that's cool. Cool photo. Super shallow depth of field. F2.8 with the 85 millimeter lens. That's why I was like, man, how did you get that shallow depth of field? Only thing I would do here is maybe scooch out just a little bit so we could see more of the feet, the full figure. Otherwise, really good. I say scooch out, but then I also kind of don't like this dark line on the left. So however it was to reframe it where you're seeing the full figure, but also getting rid of this darkness on the left. But really cool photo. Great focus on that subject and great vibrant colors. Bob, getting to your photo, Bob, if you're still here. Bob, fall foliage, backlit. Crepe myrtle trees with the Canon EOS 90D. Lovely photo, lovely leaves. This is a type of photo that I take myself, so I really appreciate it and I really like it, and just love seeing the textures. Gosh, if I was to be more critical of this photo, I don't know. I honestly don't know what I would say. I feel like if I was to be super critical, it's more critical of the shape of the tree, whereas I feel like, I love these leaves in the middle. They're the ones that are the focus of my attention. And then this one on the right kind of draws my eye over there. And I'm like, nope, I don't want to look over there. I want to look over here at the middle. And so, but maybe a change in angle composition could have helped that crop. But honestly, I just like it. You could have cropped tighter, I guess. You could have just cropped a little bit tighter and been more focused on these leaves. But I also, for this one, kind of like the fall off. I like seeing like this negative space back here. So I think just a really cool photo. Joan says, I want to learn to take photos like this. Talk to Bob. He's been here for a long time. All right, I struggled with getting interesting, vibrant color, so I went a little wild, made a color wheel and a affinity photo, then photographed it on my monitor. Alex, that's a cool idea. Whoa, that makes my brain hurt though. I like literally can't look at this or my brain is gonna turn to mush. It's hard to like. The only thing that I see is it perfectly centered? I guess it is. Cool idea. This would look dope if you printed it out massive. Like I could just imagine going into like a gallery and then it was huge. And like when you're standing back, you can see, and it just kind of looks like this like beach ball rainbow effect. But then you walk closer and then you can see like the individual pixels. Very cool. Yeah, maybe too much caffeine, John says. Quinn, Tokyo Disneyland. I was just at Tokyo Disney Sea in November, and it was awesome. This is a cool photo. Nice reflection. You get the balloons from up. Nice colors. You probably brought up the greens in the trees and the foliage, I'm guessing. Maybe could have scooched out just a little bit to see like the edge of this building. More of this, just to see that I see this Kevin the bird thing from up is over there on the left hand side being cropped out, but really cool photo. All right, Carlos, Christmas ornament shot with the M6, long exposure kind of thing. That's just a cool photo. Is this just the light coming from the ornament? Yeah, amazing texture on the wall. That's very cool. Very artistic. Yeah, no real critiques of this one. That one's awesome. All right. Alice. Nice photo. Nice balance. Nice, you got this leading line going down, cutting across. You got the reflection, great symmetry, nice balance. I don't know. I think this is just a nice photo. Maybe, could have widened out just a tad. See the full boat right here, or tilt pan to the right just a little bit, but I don't know. Cool photo. I guess if you want to make, this photo pop a little bit more, you could have selected a couple colors like the red of this building or just the yellow of this building and boosted the saturation of just those. But I don't know. I like it. All right, let's get on to the next photo. Chong Ka Min, this Buddha statue in front of a Hindu temple. A Buddha. Is that Buddha? Did I just... This is the Sri Sakti. Anyways, this is... Oh, Ratman. Yeah, you've been posting photos for a long time. That's a cool photo. Here, I would also boost the saturation just a little bit. I think you could push it even farther. Looks a little bit dull, or dulled down. I mean, I think like in reality, maybe this is close to reality, but I think you could have pushed it just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna have to push through some of these a little bit quicker. Barbara, nice quilt. I think for the setting, seeing the whole quilt and seeing the background makes sense. Like, part of me wants to zoom in and crop on just the colors, but I think seeing it on this fence post is nice. I would just have gone a little wider to see the full thing. This is a couple roosters, look like cockfight. Wow, that's a little intense. I would just have straighten out the crop so that it doesn't look tilted with the bricks, and then the grass here, just straighten out those lines just a little bit. Those poor animals. I don't know if I approve of the cockfights myself. But really interesting cultural experience, I'm sure. I think those colors must be painted on those roosters. All right, Anita, this is a lovely photo. Also a very narrow crop. What is with these like super narrow up and down crops? Is that something from like a phone? I don't know if that's shot on the phone or not, but very narrow crop, but I think it works really well. And just like the balance of the framing with the leaves at the top, the edge of the pond down here, it looks really great. Now, not to be picky, too picky, Anita talks about taking this photo last year. Please feel free to post whatever photos you want, but my hope and goal is that these weekly challenges push you to get out there and take photos. So if you, and I know not everyone has the time, or maybe the weather's not right or whatever, but if you can get out there and take new photos for these challenges, that's what's going to help you really push your photography and become a better photographer. So that's my picky note for that photo. Cool rainbow. I don't mind the diagonal fence here. I would just boost the saturation. If anything, doing some sort of mask to boost the saturation of the rainbow, I think would have made this pop even more. Donna, this is a cool photo. These flowers, lovely. The quality, I think it's just the export, or maybe there's some digital noise in there. Bringing that down just a little bit, I think, will help. You could use the denoise effect, balance out with a little sharpening too. Jim Costa, this is a cool photo. I would just use in Photoshop or in Lightroom, I would use the transform tool to just straighten this out a little bit. I think the diagonal lines or the angle would look better just if it was perfectly flat. That could have been helped a little bit taking these photos in that space, although I think that's hard to do a lot of times. So using the transform tool can help. And I think it's the angle's subtle enough on that photo that it would look good and not crop out too much. Nagesh took this vibrant sunset photo. Lovely colors, kind of abstract. I would definitely move your watermark. It's like super distracting up there. I don't like watermarks at all personally. They can get quickly removed just with AI or a mask or whatever. So it's not really protecting your photos, although it does get your name out there if someone does take your photo or you post it somewhere else. This is an example of a photo that beautiful sunset. I would probably, just for this photo, maybe crop it so the sunset is in the middle. But if there was more of like a subject or some interesting framing with like a silhouetted tree or something like that, it would just make this photo a more interesting photo to look at. If anything, though, I would just crop this a little bit tighter to get rid of this. It looks like probably a tree over on the right hand side. Maria, you don't want to go out when in the Arctic cold and take vibrant color photos? Come on. All right, Patty. Canon R6. Dang, this is a cool photo. That's like Nat Geo status right there. Lovely. I mean, the only thing I could say is maybe bring up the exposure of the darker part of the wings right here, but really cool photo. You could post a little bit of extra texture in there as well, but really good. A lot of people liking that photo. Very posted this photo. She posted this to Instagram as well and tagged us. I don't always get a chance to do it, but if you tag us in your posts or in your stories, we will try to share them on our Video School account. This was a combination of photos that Very posted, and this was with the new Fuji X-T5 too. Just very cool combination. Storytelling of the stoplight for the bike cyclist, but then combined with that cyclist with the long exposure in the background, just really cool photo. And it kind of has that balance of red, not green, but like the 3 lights on this light post, which is very cool. Lovely photo, as always. Angie, another flower photo. I thought we were going to see a lot of flowers in this challenge. Really cool. I would probably have tried to have a deeper depth of focus so that most of these flowers are in focus. I can see that some of these petals kind of fall off, and for some photos that works, but for this one, for me, I just think that having more in focus would have been better. And then it looks a little warm, so I would play with the white balance, and probably it makes everything a little cooler, but more, I think, a better white balance, I think. So that's what I would do with that photo, but really cool photo. Deborah posted cats. Love the cats. Love the color of the eyes on that background. Maybe just if I could have cropped out just to see that ear is kind of cool. Maybe like tilt down just a little bit. All right, let me see. Did anyone post a question? No, no one posted a question. Do you guys see the Q&A feature in the live stream that you're watching? I'm just curious because I'm curious to see what it looks like when someone posts a question. Anyways, let's see how many more we got. Let me open all these photos. Oh, lordy lord. We got a lot. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to all of these because oh my, oh, wow. There were a lot of photos posted today. Marcel, I'm opening up yours. Oh, I saw this one before. Maybe you tagged me. I forget, but that's a cool photo. Wow, you guys, this is awesome. So many people posting photos. Okay, let me scroll. Where was I? I don't know if I could get through all these. Okay, maybe I can. All right, Annette, cool mural photo. Going out on a photo walk, trying to find some graffiti, great idea. Maybe just boost the exposure just a little bit. I'm going to try to do 30 seconds for each of these. Cool mushrooms. Colors, not necessarily the vibrant colors I would have imagined for this challenge, but still a really cool photo. And I love the 2 of them coming up like that. And just the balance of the colors is very nice with the browns and the greens and the fall off in the background. I'm wondering if the bokeh looks crazy. I'm wondering if your fall off the background was digitally enhanced, like making it blurrier or not, but really cool photo. What was you shot this on? I'm not sure. If it kind of looks like a smartphone sort of depth of field or blurry background. Ryan is here. with this photo. Ooh, this is cool. Very creative setup. Wow. That is wild. I'm sure you got a ton of cool photos with this. That is awesome. Oh, not digitally enhanced. Oh, cool. That bokeh that you got in the back is crazy cool on that photo. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's what you get through the leaves when you see that light. Great example of that. Um, Very cool photo. Just so exciting to see this kind of setup and taking the time to do something crazy like that. Love the reflections. Maybe just one of those balls, just like I want to see like one portrait sort of crop with one of the balls where you see the full reflection with the ball in it. Would have been cool, but pretty cool photo otherwise. Mildred, this is cool. Lovely storytelling in this photo of the father and I think you said daughter, the shoes. It's a little grainy. Maybe that's you cropped in a little bit too much or something, but still, yeah, iPhone 15, you're going to get a little bit of that if you're zoomed in or something. Um, but lovely storytelling with that one. Chris. Chris has shared a lot of photos in the past. Cool photo, getting a lot of digital noise in there. So I don't know if that's just from the photo. Even like the highlights down here look like they were brought down a little bit too far, I think. It's okay to blow out highlights sometimes. Like if it's too high, too bright, that's totally fine. But really cool photo. Lovely lights. Nancy, did you post another one? Did I see a Nancy photo already? Cool photo. I think the vignette is a little bit strong on this, especially on the bottom part of this. What you could do, I'm not sure how you created your vignette, but you might have just done a standard vignette around the whole frame. If you want that same effect to get rid of some of the background, what you could have done is like some individual linear vignettes or gradients that are on the left top and bottom and top right corner so that you could still see this leaf and the edge of the leaf, which I kind of want to see that full leaf. But really cool colors. Great job. Mildred shot with the iPhone 15. This is a cool photo. I would want this a little in with the iPhone 15. I don't know if you can do this. Does the iPhone 15 have a telephoto lens? But zoomed in a little bit so that there's a clear subject. Is the subject this what is this? Like what is this? What are those called? A crane, stork, that bird statue thing. Um, Make that the subject with the vibrant yellow or the red flowers in the background, and maybe you get a little bit of the yellow back building in the background as well. But just crop in or play around with composing something in this front yard because you have a lot of options for what your subject can be. I think right now I'm kind of like, what is this photo of? Is it the bush? Is it the bird? Is it the building? So play around with that and then also just boost that saturation a little bit. I think at least for this challenge, it's okay to do that. Hong Wang, this is a great photo. Lovely colors. This is an example of what I was talking about with that other sunset photo of the sun. Great sunset, but composing it in a way where you see, a tree in the foreground or something silhouetted makes it, I think, a better photo. So something like this is a good example of what you sort of like the next level of that photo. Tony Mullins, this is a cool photo. Great symmetry. This is one where I could tell you probably dehazed the sky, you cranked up the clarity or the texture on the mountains. You did a lot of editing to it. It looks like the horizon's pretty much perfectly flat or horizontal. But this is one where that crunch, that grunge of the dehaze doesn't necessarily bother me too much because it's just the style of the photo. It's just like, it's not like the rest of the photo is like this soft, nice, normal color, and then the sky looks weird. It's like this whole photo, it's like crunchy, contrasty, a lot of texture, and it's very cool. Interestingly, I don't know if this is just in the edit, like the green down here doesn't match the green of the mountains. So I think you could have brought up the saturation of the green in the mountains a little bit to match that one. Play around with the colors, even bringing out the saturation of the blues, I think could be make this photo even more vibrant. But man, that's a really cool photo. That will work for several challenges this year. Gianluca, really cool photo. Getting really good at your photography, your night photography. This is another example similar to that other photo where it was like the photographer used the half of the flash to light up your car. This is one where it's framed, this car is framed with these cool lights from this building, and then you see like a person exiting the store, and together it all tells sort of a story. Now, could this car have been shot with a higher shutter speed and been perfectly sharp? Yeah, but you would have lost some light, so I don't know what it would have looked like. Unless you had like a higher ISO, but then you would have noise. So I don't know if that would have been better, but I don't mind the blur a little bit because it kind of adds to this nighttime ambiance, a little out of focus. You see the motion of the car, so it kind of adds to it. So I really like that photo. Mercedes, cool photo, hidden colors, love it. I would play around with the composition of these oranges. Like the way that these two are kind of composed in the shot is a little bit unbalanced to me. Maybe like I want one in the frame or maybe three if there was a batch of three. But mostly I would just, for this specific photo, I would just boost the exposure of your shadows just a little bit, brighten it up. Connie, great colors here. Same thing, just boost the exposure just a little bit, but I love the story of this. Looks like they're both carefully walking on this frozen water, trying to get that disc. Katie, cool photo. This would be one I would play a lot with in terms of the background. In Lightroom, you could do a background selection, brighten it up, blur it out, not necessarily blur it, but drop the sharpness, drop the clarity so that you lose some of the details and the smudges on the surface, which you can see, which I think takes away from the shoes here. So I would play around with that. I'm not sure what the background was like. If you could tilt down a little bit and you could see more of the face of this shoe here would have been nice. But really just boost the overall exposure and then the background as well, I think would be nice for this photo. Laura, great photo. Play around with that white balance. The snow looks a little blue to me, and then I can tell that this looks blue too. Boost this exposure, but otherwise cool shot. Abby, great photo. Same thing, just boost the exposure just a little bit, just brighten it up just a little bit, and maybe the individual pink color boost the saturation for this challenge I think is fine, as well as maybe the yellows just a little bit to get that inside of the flower a little bit more saturated. Ian, also cool photo, maybe backed out just a little bit so I could see this full sculpture, not cropping out this one on the left. Again, boost the exposure just a little bit. I don't think it's just my screen. I would just boost that exposure just a little bit. Radomir, this is an example of like the cleaner background, and if a lot was done in editing, probably to clean up this background, and it can make that product shot of those shoes previously pop more and look more professional. So that's a great example of that. Maria, lovely colors, lovely composition, love this sort of symmetry of it might be a little on the cool side or the green side. So maybe play around with the white balance there, warm it up, maybe push it towards magenta a little bit, but otherwise I think it looks great. Marcel, already saw your photo. Love the tight crop on this. Abstract print would look great as a print, I think, on your wall, like a canvas print or something, to really see that texture. Maybe could boost the exposure just a little bit, but I think it looks really, really cool. Shelby, you're here, so I'm going to get to your photo too. This is a really cool photo. You know, if I'm being super picky, maybe the angle just get an inch down to the left so that you can see both eyes. But I love seeing, you know, the framing with the hair right here and the framing of this mirror. Really cool. It looks like she has like some elf ears or something like that going on. So I think the only improvement could be maybe framing just a tiny bit within the mirror, but otherwise such a cool photo. And I'm going to say it again, maybe boost the exposure just a little bit. Maybe it is my monitor. Mildred, this is a crazy photo. It just looks like you zoomed crazy into this crazy looking carnival accordion playing dude. And so I think this is a case where if it was shot with a better camera, with a telephoto lens or some sort of lens where you get some blurry background so that you don't see this road sign in the background, it would look a lot better. Julie, oh, lovely symmetry here. Lovely colors. I could see a little bit that you did some sort of masking with the sky as well. It's not as pronounced as that other photo with the building where you can see the sky and sort of the mask, the sky mask. But the timing of this to get the birds flying across is super cool. I think the only thing I would say is that it looks like it could be a touch, just a touch, not perfectly centered and also tilted just a little bit. So just a tiny crop in so that the building's just scooched to the right of the frame just a tiny bit, and then leveled out just a tiny bit would make this almost a perfect photo. Marcel Paul, ooh, this is a cool photo. Great setup with the flowers in the foreground. And this is a great example of someone taking the extra moment to not just take a photo of their motorcycle, but set it up in a location where they can get some nice colors and that depth from the foreground to the background, and great sharp focus on the motorcycle though. Maybe boost the exposure overall, but really cool photo. Love it. And guys, I made it to the end. We did it, folks. This was way longer than I thought I was going to be. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this if more people submit photos next week, but this photo is cool. What a funky cafeteria room this is. Children's department. Oh, children's department at public library. Wow, that makes sense. That is lovely colors. This looks like a cool set from like some like retro movie, or awkwardly, I don't know if you've seen the show Severance. It's like the kids department of the Severance building. Kind of creepy vibes a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. But you got it where there's no kids here, so it looks like this set that's just been like sitting there for ages. So anyways, wow, good stuff, everyone. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I do have one quick announcement that I want to share, but next week or this week, the weekly challenge is wide angle. So I would love to see your photos for the wide angle challenge. But the last thing I want to share is that I've been working on a new video series, YouTube series that is going to help photographers out. And it's going to help me want to get out and take more photos. So I have been a fan of a few YouTube channels lately that have built in sort of a gamified version of their channel, their craft, whatever it is that they're doing. One of the channels that I have watched lately is called Jetlag the Game, and it's this travel show series where these guys are running around different countries playing games. They do hide and seek across Switzerland. They do capture the flag across Japan. They do all sorts of games, and it's like a travel show. Anyways, I was thinking, how can I do this for photography and make it interesting to both film myself, get me out there taking photos, and also fun to watch? So I've been developing a game along with Will and Sam, who are hopefully going to be participating in it. But let me show you a screen really quick. I do have a little teaser graphic that I can share. And I'm hoping to get something out in the next month or so. So Photodash is the temporary name. And I want to bring everyone here in the community into the sort of behind the scenes of it so that we can make it the best that it can be. But basically, it is a game of going out and taking these like photo challenges that we do here and just making it fun to go out and film and record. And so I've actually developed a set of cards, and you could there are these cards out there. I've seen these before on Amazon where you can actually get like challenges or photo prompts. But basically what I've done is I have these subject cards, and then I also have style cards. Paired together, they create a great prompt for a photo. I've also gamified it a little bit with the twist card. And so I have recorded 2 episodes so far. I have to edit them. But my goal is to record and launch a series of 3 episodes in the next month or 2. The editing of these is going to be a little bit more intense than what I typically do. So we're coming up with some graphics and doing a little bit more of a better edit. And I'm just really excited about it. So there's no real prompt for feedback or anything yet, but just know that that's coming. And when it comes out, one, I would love for you to watch it. I would love for you to share it or just participate by commenting and getting it out there, but also any feedback to make it better. Because ultimately, I'm going out and doing this first series by myself, doing it solo. But the goal would be to do it as sort of a challenge between different photographers, likely me and Will and potentially Sam, going out against each other, seeing who can actually take the best photos, potentially in the future, other photographers, and eventually maybe something that you as members could purchase an actual deck of cards yourself and go use it to take photos. So just a little tease. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I actually haven't been like that excited to go out and take photos myself. And I think that's probably something a lot of photographers feel. And so this idea of sort of gamifying it for myself has really helped. So anyways, excited. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful week. Keep participating in the community. As I mentioned there at the very beginning of the stream, if you weren't here, there will be a recording that you can see, but there have been a few updates to the platform in terms of the layout and the spaces. If there's anything you have feedback on, ways that we can make it better, let me know. Just post a comment to the general space or send me a message. You can click on my profile in the community and send me a direct message. And yeah, all right. Much love. Have a beautiful week, everyone. And we'll see you soon. Go take those wide angle shots for this week's challenge. Bye.